We're on.
Breathe in, breathe out. This is our warm up for the podcast.
Oh my
Massage
gosh.
your facial muscles because now we're video recording this.
This is kind of calming, I must say.
Breathing?
No, like you giving me these instructions. I'm like, I don't think of you as like a calm app girl.
Should I be like a
vocally.
meditation leader?
I think you could be one.
I would be the worst meditation leader.
If you stuck with who you were before, not now, but earlier in the
girl,
podcast.
that was an act. That was for comedic element. Like that was like putting on a character because I have a BFA.
Do you see? My mom actually brought my BFA here.
Oh my God.
Yes, Matt Steele is looking at my diploma, which I have not seen since I graduated. I literally have had moments of being like, did I get a diploma?
She exists.
She
ladies
exists,
and
darling.
gentlemen.
You can promise the truth of the matter.
Should I hide the year?
No, I have my birth year on my shirt.
I know. I was like, you're revealing everything right here.
Yes, it's the thing. We're very open on the podcast. I think that's good. And I'm glad.
Girl, last podcast you said you were 29.
Hey, whatever. You just said you came out of the womb 5 minutes ago. So give me a fucking break.
I actually didn't even come out of the womb. I was a C-section baby.
Oh,
well, crazy. It's lies abound.
Lies from you.
Lies from me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
We're so happy to be back in the studio, back in the world,
yes.
back among all of you.
It is Easter, so
Yes.
Jesus is kind of back too.
It's true. Jesus has returned as we have returned.
It is Easter. It is also Passover at the same time.
Yes.
Isn't it also Ramadan?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I can neither
wanna
confirm nor deny.
We just got confirmation on our Twitch that it is Ramadan. So happy Ramadan, happy Easter, happy Passover, happy tax season. Hope everyone got them done.
Did you get yours done? I know you had your computer issue.
Sure did. We can talk about that. If you ask me how my week was, it was just like taxes.
All right. How was your week?
Well, I was going to do taxes the week my computer broke.
Yes.
So now I finally got to do it because Tuesday I bit the bullet.
Yes.
I bought a new computer, a new laptop. I bought a 14-inch MacBook Pro, darling.
Wow.
It is silver. It is sleek. It works. It just turns on with the tap of my thumb because it does my thumbprint or fingerprint, whatever that technology is. And so I finally got to do my taxes, and it was scary, as taxes usually are when you do them yourself and everything. But I think I did them mostly correct.
I'm sure you did amazing.
Yeah, it's like, how I also did them like in the middle of the night, which was such a dumb idea because like I couldn't like text my mom and be like, hey, question.
Right.
But yeah, it's like, how like you fill a bunch of stuff, all the stuff out, and then you do all your, your write-offs and everything. And I'm an actor and I do this podcast.
You're an actor?
I know, darling. And I do this podcast and I work at I have many jobs. I wear many hats and everything. So I have a lot of write-offs. And so doing all the calculations with the car and everything. And whenever you like think you're done, they're always like, we have some things that we'd like to double check.
I hate that.
I know. And all the things they want to double check are like questions that you don't understand the question. And so you're like, I don't know, but I'm pretty positive the answer to this is 0.
Right.
I'm pretty sure because if I don't understand it, that means it doesn't apply to me,
exactly.
Right? And so I would always be like 0 and click. And they'd be like, this is not an acceptable answer. And I'd be like, God damn it, 0.00. Click, not an acceptable answer.
Awful.
So at those points, you just kind of have to be like, 1? And click, and they're
Lord,
like, that's an acceptable answer.
Matt Steele's auditor, I hope you're not listening to this. And if you are, this is for comedic effect.
It's literally for like one of those questions that like really does not affect anything. And like, I know the answer is 0.
Right.
So like if I answer 1, like it can't affect it too much.
I know. It's just like, I feel like I get that message so often, and then I go back and I actually can't tell what they're highlighting. They're like, do this. And I'm like, why have you not highlighted a field that's going to tell me what I need to change or update? And I have to like scroll through and just figure it out and go just like trial and error this shit.
And you can't figure it out because there's a million things that you left empty because they don't apply to you and everything. Yeah, they don't highlight it.
I hate that. And it's like TurboTax, I love you in that I don't want to hire someone to do my taxes.
Yes.
But
TurboTax does everything right except for that.
It's
like
the worst.
When they ask you to double check whatever,
and
they don't highlight it.
It's like it's fucking Groundhog Day. I'm going back and submitting it. And it's like, oh, we found one more thing. It's like, well, tell me what the thing is. And the whole idea that the fact that the IRS knows exactly how much we owe or are owed, and they just want us to figure out and get it right. It's just like, this actually doesn't make any fucking sense. I know that's what every like TikTok is about, but like, why? Like, why is the onus on us when it's like, I'm not a fucking accountant. I'm not a mathematician. I'm a person who's living, wanting to do right by the world. And
I am good at math.
I'm great at math.
I am very good at math.
Yeah.
I consider myself a fairly intelligent person. My BFA may be in drama, but hey, I'm an intelligent person. I can go through life and be fine.
For sure.
So I can't imagine the people who are just
I know.
Really have no idea what's going on in the world, doing their taxes.
They can't be doing it right.
No one's doing it right.
No one's doing it right. And I always felt that way when I couldn't drive or I was scared to drive on freeways. And I would look at other people and be like, that freeway is filled with so many fucking idiots.
Yes.
And I am smart and I should be able to do this thing that dumb people can do.
You are smart and you are aware and you are cautious.
Yes.
And all these dum-dums are just I know. Speeding on by and everything.
But then it's are they doing this because they care less than we do and they don't worry that they're
I think they don't worry.
Doing things wrong, like driving on the freeway and their taxes.
I think that's the thing. So IRS, if you are listening, if I did it all wrong, just know that I really care and I tried to do the right thing.
His heart was in the right place when he was doing his taxes.
Yeah.
Have you been able to explore the new computer at all? Is there any new functionality that's exciting for you besides the touch opening moment?
Not really. It's all just a little sleeker. It's a little smaller. I was able to do things move faster.
Love that.
And so I don't know. It feels like how my computer usually feels. It's just newer.
I love that.
And so that's very nice.
That's exciting.
You had a very busy week. What did you do?
Well, my mom has been in town. She got in on Wednesday, picked her up from the airport around 7 p.m. and I took Thursday and Friday off. We went to see so many museums. Getty Villa, the Broad. We do that every time my mom's in town.
Oh, your mom is Getty queen.
She loves it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we live so much further from the Getty now, and in planning, had the Getty and the Getty Villa on separate days.
Damn.
But it's do you really want to be in that traffic, going across town in LA traffic twice? And it's I don't. I don't. And so next time we're all learning about the new apartment, the new place. And she's sad that she missed our last place because it was during COVID. We moved basically right before COVID started to Matt Steele's current apartment. And then it was 2020. So my mom didn't get to come and visit. She basically did not see that last apartment. So you can just send my mom a bunch of pictures.
I mean, I can drive her down tonight. She's chilling in the living room. I can be like, hey, you want to spend the night at my place?
I know, right? And it's just I don't know if it's worth all of that, but we want everyone to be as involved in the apartment process as possible.
Yeah.
Especially our mom.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't want her to spend the night tonight because guess what? I woke up this morning too.
What?
You remember that in your bedroom, which is now my bedroom,
Yes.
the wonderful sink?
Yes.
I opens the cabinet underneath it and there's a leak in the sink. I know.
That's a shitty feeling.
I know. So I had to email the landlord and be like, hi.
I mean, I always feel with him, and I guess with all landlords, it's you won't hear from us for 3 to 5 months. But it's if you hear from us, there's something wrong.
Oh, yeah.
There's something wrong, which I guess is just the landlord journey. But it just made me feel bad. It's I hate thinking that I only reach out to you when things are wrong. But it's also I also pay you over $1,000 every month. So.
Of course, yeah. No, we're very good tenants.
Yes.
We were not pains in the butts at all and everything. Which I'm sure he has many tenants who he's just oh God, this motherfucker
I'm
again.
sure.
But I'm sure he enjoys hearing from me because he doesn't hear from you anymore.
Not anymore. And I must say something
Yes.
that I'm going to start off with, something that will frighten you but shouldn't.
Okay.
I don't have COVID.
Okay.
But as we all remember, I was a bit sick a couple of weeks ago. And as I was going to pick up my mom, I realized because I was just taking a shower, put on deodorant and, smell my deodorant is not unscented. So I was in doing other things in the bathroom, I've forgotten if I've put on my deodorant, went to smell my armpit. And I could not smell anything. So I took another COVID test. I had taken one a few days ago. It was negative again. And so I went to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And I have something called chronic sinusitis, I guess is what it's called, how it's pronounced.
Okay.
So I'm having a procedure, not tomorrow, but next Monday, to basically open up
sinusitis.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yeah. Oh, I've YouTubed all those videos. They stick a balloon up you and it's squeeze it and it opens. Ooh, I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited, but I didn't. But the thing is, the lady was like, not like it's not like you've had one sinus infection. I think this has been happening to you over the years.
Yeah.
And you just didn't notice. So they're going to do the balloon thing, open up that. And they're like your sinuses. Usually people come in and like feeling pressure and pain, which I literally don't feel generally.
Yeah. You don't sound stuffy.
I don't sound stuffy. I don't feel stuffy. They're like, oh, in this picture, you should usually just see like a little bit of a line at the bottom. And that would even be a problem. And your sinuses are half filled.
Oh, jeez. Get it out of there.
That's what I'm doing. But I'm
God.
I have to take a Valium beforehand. It's like a whole thing. I just am like nervous about it.
Oh my
but
God.
I'm also like, okay, historically, for at least as long as I can remember, I've been a person that's like, even when my nose was like working more than 0, which it's basically 0 now, I was like, my sense of smell has never been great.
Okay.
At least since high school or something. And I'm like, is this procedure going to like fully change my life? Like, am I going to smell things like so strongly? I don't know. There's a moment in 30 Rock where like it comes out that Tracy had like something stuck up his nose for his entire life, finally got it out. And he sings a song. He's like, I can smell. I'm like, is that going to be me?
I have a friend who I was a camp counselor with.
Yes.
And she was born with like an extremely deviated septum. And so she could never smell. Like as a kid, she was never able to smell. Her sense of smell was never good. One day in high school, she got some procedure done, and that like helped her with her deviated septum. It wasn't like a full surgery like that they do for deviated septums, but they did something, and she was suddenly able to smell. She walked outside, smelled the grass, and vomited. Like she smelled the grass for the first time and threw up everywhere. And she was like, "Fuck this! Like fuck smelling. This sucks."
Wait, oh my God. What does grass smell like?
It's like grass.
I don't really feel like it's not like a strong smell.
You don't smell grass?
Is it a strong smell? I feel like no.
It's a strong smell if it's like freshly cut grass. It's stronger if it's like freshly cut. Honestly, like California grass, I don't really smell. New Jersey, East Coast grass is like, and we're really talking about like lawn grass, not like marijuana. I feel like I always smell grass more on the East Coast.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Interesting.
Are there any scientists on Twitch? Help us out with that. I wonder if when they clear it out, are you going to be able to hit some new notes?
That honestly is my biggest hope.
Oh my God.
That like I have trained myself to sing through the sinusitis for all these years that like I'm going to sound like fucking Brian McKnight after this.
Oh my God.
I don't foresee it, but you never know.
Well, when I was in high school before my NYU audition, I had, like something wrong with my vocal cords. Like I lost my voice for a bit. And so I went to an ENT and they scoped me like through the nose and everything. Yeah. And the ENT was like, your nasal passages, like nothing's deviated or anything, but your nasal passages are more narrow than the average male nasal passage.
Interesting.
And I was like, interesting. Maybe that's why I've never been able to successfully blow my nose.
That's true. You do have a nose blowing thing.
Yeah. Like if I'm congested, it doesn't blow. Like
weird.
I blow and I blow and I blow and it just gets worse.
And the thing is with this last sickness, I usually like have a normal amount of like, oh, I can blow my nose, and then I don't. And then, the cold is over and like we're not blowing our noses anymore. I have still been blowing my nose like like once or twice a day since I've been better. And I'm like, what is this about? And it's like, oh, I guess there's just a lot going on in here. I don't know. It's going to be weird. I wonder what it's all going to be like. If it improves my vocal tone, you're welcome, because you'll hear it. And I'm going to sound like Luther fucking Vandross.
Oh my God, this new album, the next album is going to be like.
But I've already recorded one song. I need to redo it.
You can redo it. It takes like 5 seconds to,
sing all of those parts and the harmonies, darling. I mean, I don't know.
But let's get real. The song's like what, 2 minutes, 20 seconds?
No, it's not, because I refuse. It has the whole fucking bridge and everything. But we're going to see if this I feel like it's either going to make a huge difference and my life will be forever changed, or nothing will change. And I'll get like the sense of smell I had before back, and like all will be well. Either way is fine, but it'd be more exciting if it was like a game change.
Oh my God. If you suddenly are like Barbara Streisand and like it's just all in the mask.
I need it.
Oh, I'm excited for you. When is this procedure?
It is the 25th of April. I'm because my birthday is the 29th, and they're like, you should be back to like doing regular things. Don't like work out until a week afterwards. But I'm just hoping that by the time I receive the cheesecake that I will be receiving one way or another on my fucking birthday, that I can taste it to its full extent.
Can you not taste now?
I can taste now, but like it's not like it was. Like I can sense like, oh, this is salty versus this is spicy, but it's not like, oh, this fish tastes really fishy, or like I looked things up at like what happens when people can't smell, and they're like, people don't know when food is bad. And like you can't smell if there's a gas leak and shit like that. And so I'm like, I don't know. I'm nervous. We're going to see how it all goes. I think it'll be fine.
Get ready for that grass, baby.
Yes. I'm going to try to get ready for the grass, and I hope I don't throw up like your friend.
I think you'll be fine. You have a strong stomach.
I do. So should we dive into the few news for idiots we have?
I know. We might as well
week?
keep talking about our sinuses,
honestly,
guys. Our sinuses and our taxes.
It's more exciting. There's honestly one piece of news that's very exciting, but there's not much to say beyond congratulations. But if you've been on the internet or on, in the world in the past week, you probably know that our queen, the legendary Miss Britney Spears, is with child. I'm so excited for her because, again, we all remember her terrifying testimony where she talked about having an IUD in that she didn't want in and not being able to have it removed. And the fact that the first thing she did after this conservatorship was like, I'm getting fucking pregnant.
Yes,
and she did
I am
it.
going to have sex, unprotected sex
Yes.
with my hot boyfriend.
Boyfriend or husband. She
Husband,
keeps
fiance.
referring to him as her husband. I'm like, you got secretly married, didn't you?
But they just got engaged. Like,
I
they
think-
just announced engagement, but like,
They're
did
married.
they get married? Okay.
I feel like it would be very Britney to get married and not tell any of us.
I love that.
And also very Britney to want to be married when having a child.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Like she's very, old school in that way, I feel.
Yeah.
So I am just so excited for her. I'm so happy that she can make life choices in this way. And it's also like, she's 40. Like this, of course, she's very wealthy. She has access to any sort of assistance as needed. But it's like the 13 years that she was not allowed to make her own decisions were the years that she could have chosen to have another child. So I'm just glad that window is not closed for her. I'm glad she's getting what she wants. I also think it's funny that in the post, and like maybe I've just read too many of her posts, but like people are like, wait, is Britney pregnant or is she pregnant with a food baby? I'm like, is this not super clear to you? Like, I don't know how I can read Britney's language these days, but like I found that post very
I get
clear.
it. I interpret it.
Yeah.
The lyrics make sense to
Yes.
me. The thing is, like, she also like posted a picture. It's a beautiful little picture of like a teacup or something like
Yes.
that, and the flowers and everything. So I assume people looked at it and were just like, did she just like finish brunch or something? Maybe that's why they thought food baby and everything.
I think she's in her description was talking about, she's like telling Sam like that she felt weird or felt like she was pregnant. He was like, it's just a food baby.
Yeah.
And then I took a pregnancy test and then like she put a little baby emoji and I was like, oh yeah, so she's like, that means she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, but she has since posted more, made it more and more clear that she is with child. I'm just very excited for her. I, again, don't want to push her to do music ever if she's not ready. This is the life she clearly wanted and wants for herself right now. And I just am excited. And I feel like that is a very good note, Jeff JC, that with Britney being pregnant and Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez being back together, engaged, it's like, it's truly 2005 again.
It
so
really is.
Does that mean Mariah's about to release The Emancipation of Mimi?
We got something coming.
I mean, the Butterfly Lounge, we've just gotten a peek through the door.
And you're about to get your high school vocals back. The freshly changed voice, Matt Palmer.
If you think my high school vocals are better than my current vocals, you are wrong.
Oh, girl. My vocals right after my voice changed were so fucking good. Oh, my God. Like, I had an amazing, amazing audition for The Adventures of Tom Sawyer at a community theater. And, like, I have never sounded better in my life. And every single, like, audition where I have to sing after that was literally trying to recreate that moment. And I never will.
I feel like it was the opposite for me. Like I've never sounded worse in my life than after my voice changed initially, which you can listen to Slipping into Dream on our Patreon, my first 2002 album. But then ever since then, it's just like we have to progressively get better and better, And I feel like that's what we have been doing. And I'm telling you, we're gonna reach a new peak, hopefully, or nothing will change once I have this procedure. Anyways, we're happy for Britney is the point. Excited for her. And it's just so lovely to see her living the life she wants after all this time.
It's wonderful. She deserves it. Congratulations, Brittany. Wait, so when's that baby due? I'm assuming she's like maybe like a month along now or two. I was going
to say, like, I hope she's at least a trimester in because you're not supposed to tell people.
Yeah,
it's still like dangerous. But clearly, Brittany does what she wants.
Yeah, she might be excited.
I also love that she and Rihanna are pregnant at the same time. S&M duet partners.
Oh my God, those babies are going to graduate school together. They might be in the same year.
I would love that for them.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
20, what's 18 years from now? I don't want to think about it.
I'm 2040.
2040. Oh my God.
And we'll be how old? No one do this math.
No one.
I'm covering
cover your chest up.
Yes, my chest, if you're just listening to it, has my birth year on it. And so we can't do the math here today because it will just depress us. In other news, music news, Harry Styles debuted at #1 with As It Was.
That's okay.
Matt Steele's favorite song.
I think the song is fine.
Of all time.
Like after coming off of, the greatness that was Fine Line, it's like I was expecting a little
bit more.
Yeah.
Yes. But I mean, good for him. And he also just played Coachella and he brought Shania Twain out.
I know, I saw that. And he said men are trash or something.
Yes, he said the woman who taught us how to sing and also that men are trash. And I believe they sang You're Still the One and Man, I Feel Like a Woman together, which is
that's
great.
fun.
I think that's very fun.
I also saw that Carly Rae Jepsen sang her new song at Coachella.
Wait, did she? I didn't see that.
And I refused to click the video on Twitter because I was like, no, I want to listen to, the real version.
When
first.
does it come out this Friday or something? Do we have a date?
I don't know.
I would love to know when that CRJ song comes out. I feel like I have. She put up a teaser clip that I did listen to, but not too closely, not with headphones on, just like a little listen.
How's it sound?
Sounds,
Joanne?
It doesn't sound too. It just like. My alarms didn't go off.
Okay.
Which is what I was worried about since we were doing like a Western Wind, like maybe folk moment. It didn't feel like that. It feels like definitely still within Carly Rae's wheelhouse, which is exciting. And I love that little outfit Harry Styles is wearing.
He's so cute and glittery. He looks like Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, but gay.
I like that we're
not
getting.
with a gay guy.
Of course, no gay people on stage. And Shania Twain, as much as I love her and Up, did say that if she was an American, she would have voted for Trump. And I'll never forget that.
I forgot about that.
I won't.
But what a rough day
otherwise,
for the Shania stands.
I mean,
those gays were probably so upset.
But otherwise, Harry looks great. And I also love that it was like a gender-bending outfit that wasn't an ill-fitting dress. He looked great in that. It was like clearly we're having moments that aren't just like, look at me. So good for them. Oh, sad news.
Oh,
Gilbert Gottfried passed away.
Yeah, that was such a shocker because I feel like I just saw him recently, like out and about,
right?
Like make an appearance or something like that. And it's so sad. He was so young.
He was very young.
Apparently, he was with an illness that he had for like a while, like
that's
a condition that he had for a while.
Yeah, let me see. I think his family posted, "We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried after a long illness. In addition to being the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend, and father to his 2 young children. Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor. Love, the Gottfried family."
Laugh as loud as possible because you have to be as loud as his voice.
Hello.
Like the great thing about Gilbert Gottfried is just like obviously like a hysterical person, but I love how just like early on in his career he was like, all right, how do I stand out from everyone else? I know, I will scream everything. And it's just like fucking brilliant.
I miss the era of time where like someone having an insanely loud voice or an insanely crazy laugh was a calling card.
Yes.
Like Janice on Friends and fucking Fran Drescher and Gilbert Gottfried. Like everyone, they were icons because they were able to be like so wild and outlandish, like 90s characters. But now everyone I feel like has to be, like, I don't know, a little palatable or a little like able to cross over to the mainstream in a way that like prevents that kind of outlandishness.
Very much so.
You know?
I miss the days of like the Georgia Angles from like Mary Tyler Moore Show where it's just like it was like I'm the number one Carol Chan stan in the entire world. Like it's I miss the days where it's just like, oh no, this person is just like intrinsically like how they walk through the world and speak to you is funny. I feel like now, I feel like every comedian feels like they have to be like, no, I'm the witty one.
Right.
Like I'm the one who's like, has like the smart, not that like these people weren't like, not that these people didn't have smart humor, but like, it's like, no, but my humor specifically is just like, oh, I'm really dry and I'm really succinct and everything. Whereas like, before, like so many comedians were just like, no, I'm just a fucking weirdo.
Right.
I'm just going to scream every goddamn thing and it's just going to be iconic. Right. And not only will I do like crass, ridiculous adult humor, I'm also going to be like the voice of Iago in a children's in like a family cartoon and everything. Classic. So it's just the fact that he could do it all and he was just amazing, and I'm so sorry for his family.
I know you're not like a comedian per se, like you don't do stand-up or whatever, but could you bring that back for me? You need to get on stage and be 2022 Gilbert Gottfried for all of us.
Oh, bring it back?
Yes, bring it back.
Oh, baby, I can bring it back.
Okay.
I can bring it back. You do remember the Doomsday Diaries?
I do, and I would like you to bring it back on stage and not like next to me because we do have earlobes.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
But I think there's a lane for you there. And I feel like
there's absolutely a lane for me.
But would you ever do stand-up, really?
I can't. Like, everyone is always like, oh, Matt Steele should do stand-up, Matt Steele. And like, It seems so scary. My thing with the reason why I don't necessarily like lean into like, oh, I'm a comedian,
Right.
because like I don't like the pressure of like having to like make people laugh as
Totally.
Michael. Like I've always enjoyed like, oh no, I want to entertain people, or like I want to act and I want to portray this character. Like that
Right.
was always like what I was very into. But like, but whenever there's like pressure of like, oh, you need to make me laugh specifically, like then I feel like I lose it and I'm not funny and
Right.
it doesn't work.
Like, I feel like it's so much easier. I mean, clearly we have a whole Twitch going right now, but like we can just be ourselves and like just have our banter and happen into a comedic moment instead of being like, okay, this is the beat I'm going to hit. This is the beat I'm going to hit. Like having a whole set together seems so daunting and frightening to me. Like,
and I feel like, like I'm hard off the cuff.
Yes.
So I feel like Lauren knows in every single podcast I listen back and I'm just like, I said completely the wrong word that I meant to say.
It happens.
So I'm not great off the cuff. So I feel like stand up maybe is not for me. Like a sketch comedy, I feel like
but stand-up's not off the cuff. They have written all of that out.
they do have it all written out, but like I feel like they have to learn how to be like, okay, this sort of these bits aren't working. Let me switch over to this other stuff that I maybe am working on,
Right.
sort of like trying out and everything. Or something happens and they have to just improvise and everything. It's just like, oh, that's so much stress. I don't know. I've always saw myself as a funny actor.
all right. That's fair. Well, hey.
So-
I think you're doing a great job of that.
Thank you. Maybe Gilbert will like come down into my soul,
Right.
and next podcast I'll just be screaming and hilarious.
Well, since I am getting now this procedure done, which is going to help my sinuses and like take me to the next level vocally.
You'll be even louder.
I know. Because you're always like, Matt's placement. It's always right here.
This girl
And
resonates.
she
You have
resonates.
no idea.
I'm just, but not the worst thing in the world, but it's going to be even more so. And it's going to be at that next level. What procedure can you get done to take your comedy to the next level is the question.
Oh God.
You
I
know?
don't know.
Maybe you could get like, I don't know, maybe get like a face mask, try to get some,
face mask,
Yeah,
like Batman?
Yeah, like The Mask. Remember Jim Carrey's The Mask?
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
Oh, I could totally do something like that.
Totally.
But that wasn't like stand up, I would say. That was like a funny movie. Like I like playing like funny roles, like The Mask or something.
Right.
But what Gilbert Gottfried did, I feel like was very different.
It's very unique.
That's how he started out. He obviously like took on roles later in his career.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about The Mask. And I just have to say...
What is this, 1997?
I know.
I'm thinking about The Mask.
I'm just thinking about The Mask, but I one of my earliest memories was me and my brother like begging my mom to take us to go see The Mask, and my mom famously does not like a comedy in general, and I like rarely have memories of my mom being more upset with us than like after making her sit through The Mask. It just was like not a movie for her, and she's like, I can't believe I'm watching this. But again, that's why you're Mom of the Year. It's like the same thing that will happen if a future child of mine wants to like go camping and or play sports, where it's like my face will show that I am upset and furious, but I want the best for them, and so I'll do it.
Yeah, I was more of a Mask starring Cher boy myself.
Yes.
The 1986 drama.
Never saw that one.
It's beautiful. Cher's performance is fucking amazing. And
Was
she
it-
was
that was
rocked
after
with an
she
Oscar
won her
nomination. No, that was
Oscar.
before. Because
Really?
she was
When was
very...
Moonstruck?
Moonstruck was 1987. So Cher was like very famously not nominated.
Oh, just like the shirt.
You said it out loud, girl, not me. And she was very famously not nominated for Mask. And so then she was like, well, fuck y'all. I'm about to drop Moonstruck.
Wow.
And then she won an Oscar for Best Leading Actress.
So maybe after House of Gucci did not earn Gaga nomination, she'll follow the Cher route, be in another blockbuster, critically acclaimed moment, and win.
A lot of people are predicting that. Oh, what was the musical that? A lot of people were like, what if they did a new cabaret movie musical starring Lady Gaga? And I was just like,
Would she be amazing?
oh my God, she would be unbelievable.
Wow.
She would be fantastic. She would be perfect. I would throw all my money at that. It would be amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have one more piece of news, but I'm gonna save it for my giving me moments.
Okay. Wow. Really no news
I
this
told
week.
you, but do you have any other news that like maybe we missed? Is there anything people want to talk about here?
I'm so glad you didn't bring up that David Mamet shit.
What happened there?
Oh, now I guess we have to talk
you brought it
about
up. Give me a high
I'm
level.
so
I
sorry.
saw a picture of David Mamet sucks. That Jason Robert Brown tweeted or someone tweeted.
He basically went on Fox News, I believe, and was interviewed or something. And like as the years have gone on, David Mamet, who's a very famous American playwright, has come out as very conservative and like Trumpian and everything. And so he went on Fox News, and literally, this is like the quote: "Teachers are inclined to be predators," is what he said.
Predators like.
Yes.
No.
Yes, like those were his words. Not like,
No.
he said something and the optics inferred something. Those were literally his words. And it's like, sir, if you don't, because you know how now the extreme right is, they have nothing, so they're just trying to create scare tactics to get people to support
like
certain political agendas. So they're essentially trying to tear down teachers and paint teachers as villains.
Why teachers? Is this just as a result of that "Don't Say Gay" bill and all of that?
Like it was the "Don't Say Gay" bill. They're like, they're trying to teach your kids this,
right?
And the critical race theory thing is like, they're trying to teach your kids this and everything. And so I feel like the extreme right is trying to scare parents, and the way they scare parents is say, you don't have control over your children because they're with teachers all day. And it's just so the fact that David Mamet said that, like, such a clear cut sentence like that is absolutely vile.
It's disgusting. And it's also like, who makes teachers their target? It's like people who are like really anti-nurses, even if you're like a person who, like, for whatever reason doesn't believe in COVID or thinks it's a hoax or whatever, like the people that like attack medical professionals. So the fact that so many people are leaving the medical profession because the people in there that they're supposed to be treating are like violent verbally or otherwise with them. It's just, if any people in our society deserve the praise and like accolades and not to be fucking bothered by idiots all the time, wouldn't it be the medical professionals
nurses,
and the teachers?
Doctors, teachers,
and they're like at the top of the hit list. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I mean, I guess they're trying to paint people as like the people who are sort of like running the world and everything, and who have control over you, and your children are actually the villains and everything. And it's insane.
It also is just so dated and old to be like, oh, gay people are just trying to indoctrinate your children. It's like, we've literally been doing this since the dawn of time, and it's just fucking not true. Like, no one's interested, and it's like, we just want your kids who are probably gay already to feel like there's a world that's going to welcome them. And like, why are we repeating this? Can't you come up with something new?
Oh my God.
Honestly,
I know so many. I would say like most of the profession that most of my friends are like teachers. Like, I know so many teachers. My brother is a teacher. My brother is a gay teacher, and like the fact that people are now sort of like screaming, or crazy people are now screaming, teachers are teaching this crazy thing, and they're just like, no, we're not. Like, we're literally trying to just get your kids to sit the fuck down.
Oh
like, that is what we're doing all
my
day.
God. And didn't he say something about like men especially, because we're predators?
Yeah.
So they're the ones that'll be trying to groom your. It's just like, so. Wait, by the way, had people distance themselves from David Mamet before this point? I hope. Like, or were we still like saying that he was the most amazing thing since sliced bread?
Oh, as years have gone on, the past. Well, I mean, he definitely like has released some controversial plays that, as years have gone on, people realize like, and then, especially like after Trump, it was just like, oh no, David Mamet is David Mamet actually is one of my regulars at my restaurant.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't served him in like a couple years, but like he used to come in pretty.
Have you talked to him? Like,
I've served him. I've like talked to him. How are you? Like, what can I get you? Thank you. Have
really
a good day.
Gay it up the next time you see him. You gotta really.
He hasn't come in a long time, like years. So like, I doubt he's coming in again. And so he
truly should just stay inside. Like, I feel like this is the loudest I've ever heard David Mamet's name. Like, I've heard about this man who I knew nothing about before the past week, and it's like, you don't want people to be turning on you at such a large rate, especially if you're in an artistic community with a lot of gay people and people who don't fucking hate teachers for no reason.
Yeah.
And
it's so crazy because like he did it literally the day before his play American Buffalo opened on Broadway. Like, it was because American Buffalo, it's been revived several times since like the 70s, whenever it came out. And the revival just is playing now with like Darren Criss and Sam Rockwell, and so it opens the next day. So I bet the producers for that were just like, fuck.
I was going to say, those poor producers, those poor actors, because it's so obvious for, like, just don't go see the show now, because fuck that guy. And it's like, that hurts so many people, but also I get it. Like, I would feel the exact same way. So
a mess.
A mess.
I'm so sorry I brought it up.
I love that you brought it up in a way of like, I'm so glad we didn't have to talk about that. And it's like, well, sweetie, now we do.
Now we do. I should just be quiet the whole time.
No, you gotta express. So wait, is there anything other news for idiots we want to share before we take our quick little break?
I'm closing my mouth before I say anything else. I mean, I honestly can't think of anything.
Right.
But like, I'm closing my mouth because if I say something, we'll get on another crazy topic.
All
that
right.
is too dark for two gay
dark,
mats.
exactly.
We can't talk about that shit when Britney's pregnant.
I know.
This is the celebration episode.
I know. Easter Sunday?
Yeah.
David Mamet has nothing to do with that.
I know. He has nothing to do with how I'm happy that my taxes are done.
Yes.
And I maybe did them correctly.
I hope maybe you did. All right, let's take a quick break and then we'll be back with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
I would love to audition again.
I'm sorry. If you're just tuning in, which you probably are if you're listening to the podcast, we're talking about the Harry Potter play and the fact that Matt Steele would love to audition.
I would love to audition. Thank you.
Yes. So if any casting directors for that specific play are out there, Matt Steele is available and interested.
I don't know the lines yet because I've never read it, but like I can do British accent.
Didn't know Adele was coming tonight.
I can do it. I can play 14.
Oh, well.
And I can make lots of faces and be really loud.
What part of the podcast are we in?
We are on Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at twogaymats@gmail.com, two spelled TWO. Or if you're watching this on the YouTube, you can comment below and be like, hey, this is a question I would like answered. And it might get answered. So we got some emails. We're going to answer 3 today because one of them is short. So the first question comes to us from Zoe. Zoe asks, Euphoria or Skins? Hi, Matt. I keep hearing about Euphoria. Now that people around my age, you both are talking about it, I may watch it. Hearing about it reminds me of the UK show Skins. Have you ever seen Skins? If so, which one do you like better? I look forward to your podcast every Monday. Thanks for the laughs.
Well, that's very nice.
Did you watch? Because I remember, I've never seen the UK Skins, but I remember watching like a tiny little bit of when MTV USA made the US Skins. And I just remember being, because this was like during, I believe this was like 2010-ish. So it was Degrassi, the Boiling Point era. And that was just such a great era of Degrassi. And so I was just like, this isn't Degrassi. It's too dark. The kids are too serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have not seen Skins, but I know that it's famous for like many of its cast members in the UK version going
Dev
on.
Patel started on it.
Yes, I'm
he?
looking at the list now. Dev Patel. I see Nicholas Hoult, which I don't think he started on that. Was Nicholas Hoult a child actor?
I did not know that.
Maybe I'm making that up. Daniel Kaluuya was on it.
Was he really?
Yes. I'm seeing so many British actors whose names we know now. I don't know. I just think clearly they are doing something right. And I feel like they have a show in Australia that's similar that I think just got canceled recently that both Kylie Minogue and Chris Hemsworth were on. I think it's called Neighbors, but it might actually be a soap opera. Okay. But I feel like there are certain shows around the globe that like really are breeding stars for the next great superstar. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, I remember the US Skins did not do as well as the UK Skins.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a much darker show. It was like kind of like Euphoria of like 12 years ago.
Oh, but Euphoria update for the people out there. I am still watching. This week has been busy with my mom in town, and I have fallen asleep before the end of episode 2 of season 2 twice now, but I'm going to finish it, get back on the train. I'm still loving it so far.
Okay.
It's a beautiful show.
Next question comes from Bruno. Bruno says, social reality dilemma. Hi, Mats. How are you doing? I'm doing well.
I'm doing well as well.
So season 22 of Big Brother Brazil is on right now, and after 2 very successful seasons, it flopped hard. Ooh. Back in season 20, people went crazy with the idea of mixing unknown people with celebrities. It worked so well that a lot of celebrities were dying to be on season 21. And well, season 21 came, and it was even bigger than season 20. But it was also the season of big cancellations and social media records. The most hated person, a celebrity, was evicted with a 99.17% of the popular vote, and the winner, an unknown person, gained 24 million followers on Instagram.
24 million?
Only during Big Brother's run. Whoa, Jesus. I need to go on Big Brother Brazil.
I know.
Girl. But long story short, it's season 22, and celebrities are now scared of being canceled and are afraid to play the game, and the unknown people know that they can gain a lot more by being influencers than by winning Big Brother, which means nobody is playing.
Right.
And also, the winner has been established for a while, so there won't be any surprises there. But I guess my question is, can reality competition and social media work together, or should contestants be asked to go off social media during its run? Have a nice week.
I feel like there are so many reality shows that we've talked about getting progressively worse as the social media following thing and like becoming an Instagram influencer seems to be the real prize now versus whatever the prizes were pre-social media. Like this is the case for The Bachelor. This is the case for even, Housewives and Vanderpump Rules, things like that. Now that it's so clear that this is a pipeline to be able to like sell flat tummy tea on Instagram, people don't want to be their full true selves. People aren't open to being the villain because you want to come across as likable as possible, meaning that you're watering yourself down, which in turn makes for worse reality TV. I feel like clearly there are exceptions to this rule, like the Love is Blind guy who was just such a piece of shit, but that was a great season of television because of it.
And you were so grateful he was there.
I was grateful he was there because he was doing the job. So it's hard. It's just going to be harder to find those people who don't care about social media and don't want that to be the next stage of their career. I mean, I don't know that it was ever going to be a good idea for like a full celebrity to go on a reality show just because you have no control over how you are edited. Like the reason the Kardashians do so well and keep doing it even though they get more and more famous is because they control the edit. They can control exactly how they look and the villains are never going to be them. So I feel like this is just another example of like why The Bachelor is bad now and why all these, shows just aren't at their heyday because people aren't willing to just go on and like be their full selves and or have fun with it because these shows they're supposed to be dramatic. And if everyone's trying to be like the nice, relatable person, there's no drama.
Well, and the thing is like back in the heyday of the beginning of these shows, like the Big Brothers and the Big Bachelors and the Survivors and everything, it's like back in their heyday, that's what these people did.
Yes.
Like they were like, I'm going to go and be on a season of this and never be heard from again. But damn it, I'm going to make a splash on this season and everything. Whereas now it's like, oh no, social media exists and people's careers and fame goes on after the show. They don't just go back to their regular lives and everything. And so people go into it anticipating that. And the thing that's especially hard with Big Brother, which is why the show has taken such a steep decline in quality, is because like not only are you being filmed and you can be edited a certain way, you are being filmed 24 hours a day and
crazy.
Everyone can watch you. Woo. And so like, even if you do something that's like slightly problematic or the optics aren't great or something like that, even if like that doesn't make the show, the fans are still watching and they will just destroy you online and everything. And so people don't want to go through that. Like there's something about Big Brother now, even though I would kill to be on it, there's something about it now that most people now would be like, oh, I would never in a million years ever want to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of those people are the most interesting people who it's just like, no, please be on this.
If you were on it and like had the option of either trying to be like the nicest, sweetest version of yourself or like being kind of cunning and winning, which would you choose?
I mean, I would want to be cunning, but like fun. I feel like me naturally, like, I don't know, how horrible can I come across?
Right.
Like you've lived with me for periods that were longer than 24 hours a day.
Yes.
Like you've seen me go through my day-to-day routine and
it would be fine. And I also just want to say, even though people do get canceled on these shows all the time, there's also a way to be a villain that's not like being problematic. Like if you are a full fucking racist or homophobe or like, I don't know, just someone who hates people that aren't exactly like you or aren't like white, straight, and male, like if you're a xenophobe, anything like that, like we don't want you on a reality show with or without social media. Like I don't want to give platforms to people who are actively like doing harm in the world, but you can still be a fucking villain. Like if you sleep with someone's boyfriend on Vanderpump Rules, like that's the log line.
Yes.
Like that's a part of it.
That's
like,
how you get on the next season.
Exactly. So there are ways to be villains that aren't like ways that are ruining the world. So I think there's a way to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why the finale of Celebrity Big Brother 3 was so disappointing, because the producers were like, we can't let the public know that like the fans who watch the feeds don't love Todrick and everything, that like he did like all these things, because it'll discourage celebrities from wanting to be on if we do another Celebrity Big Brother season. Because like, you know, he's going through it right now.
100%.
Like his career is kind of like harmed a little bit from it. And so celebrities like are going to be like, I don't want to go through that, you know? So it is very hard. And it's like, you want the shows to continue to go on and everything because you love them and you're like, it can get better. It can get better. It can get better. But like with the way social media works now, it's like, Can it? I don't know, but we're gonna try.
It'll be impressive, and it always is impressive when there's a very good season of reality television. Whoever is casting and producing the shows that can actually be made good are doing incredible jobs, because it's just not easy. I don't think it's easy.
Like, I was just watching clips from Big Brother 8, and that cast was just so much, like, they were wild.
Really?
They were such a good cast, and they were just not afraid to just be awful. Like, just be awful. Oh, it was great.
What a time.
It was a time. The heyday of reality TV. Damn. So next question comes to us from Philip. Philip says, Madonna's original music. Hi, Matt. In the last episode, one of you, Matt Steele, was trying to convince Matt Palmer to listen to Madonna's discography. And I completely agree. Her early records are so good. Having said that, I've been annoyed that on Spotify and Amazon Music that her first album, which is one of my favorites, is a reissue, and some of the original songs have been replaced with extended cuts. For instance, while Borderline is an absolutely perfect song, I don't need 6 minutes and 57 seconds of it. What do you think about these reissues, and how do we get the albums in their original glory on these streaming services?
I saw this and looked up Borderline on just on Spotify, and with that song, at least in particular, I believe album version is available on a greatest hits record. And it's annoying. Like, Spotify doing these reissue things, and for especially like this, is super fucking annoying. But a way to get around it is like, make your own playlist with the songs that, if there are other versions of the songs that are like the real version and not the extended, you have a playlist of like, oh, Madonna first album, the cover arts are going to jump, they're going to change. It's not going to be the way we want it. But you know what? In life, I feel like I say this in my day job, you got to have a workaround. And this is just the workaround for like what we want. But because it's like, if I had to choose, we just get the original. And like, why can't they put the original album on there and then the reissue album on there?
At the end.
Exactly. Like, that's not hard to do. But a way around it, I would suggest, is to do that. And just make your own little playlists of the albums the way you want to hear them. Because you know what really fucking pissed me off? At some point, they re-released 4 by Beyonce. And they put it back on Spotify. And they did this with B-Day as well. And they completely fucked up the order. And I'm like, I cannot deal with School and Life, which was a bonus track, being track 2, or even, I don't remember what it was, but it's just like, this is not how I know this album. And like, maybe this doesn't make a difference for people, but for me, it's like, this album told a story.
Yes.
And I'm used to the story, and you can't just put me on fucking shuffle with it's like people who put albums on shuffle. It's like, are you out of your mind? People put
albums on shuffle.
Why?
That's so weird. I believe the change in I remember the original album had 1+1 as the opener, and now it has Love on Top as the opener. It's like, oh, no. This album opens with 1+1.
Exactly.
It opens with the beauty and the majesty that is 1+1.
Yes.
And then it ends with Love on Top is like near the end of the original, right?
Is.
It's like, it ends with the bop.
Once you get Love on Top, Into Time, and fucking Run the World, like, that's the end, like the big explosive ending. Like, we told a story.
Drops.
And like bonus tracks, I love them as bonus tracks. It doesn't need to be up at the top. And I love School and Life. One of my favorite Beyonce songs. This is not
fantastic.
A comment on the quality of these songs, but it's just, I know the album a certain way, and it means something to me that it stays in that order.
This is how I grew up. Like, I'm attached to the memory of this album and the story that it tells.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I sort of like find that whenever I find that there's like a director's cut of a movie, I'm just like, I'm scared to watch it, because I'm just like, I know this movie so well. Like, I've seen this movie 5,000 times already, like, as it originally was and everything, and to see a slightly different version, even if it's just like ever so slightly different, it's just like, this is weird. You know what is interesting to me though? Like, we were talking about The Goonies last week. I love the movie The Goonies. It's just like one of the best movies of all time to me. And I always grew up with it recorded off of television. And when it was recorded off of television, all of the curse words were taken out, and like tiny little snippets of dialogue were taken out, and to fill that time, or I guess to fill the time that the space it had on television, it had in deleted scenes, like a scene at a convenience store and a scene with an octopus like attacking the children and everything. And so I grew up thinking these were all in the original movie and everything, because that's the tape I would always pop in, was recorded off of, I believe, was it the Disney Channel? I don't even remember. And that's how I grew up. And so then I remember like in school, in like middle school, a teacher put in a Goonies DVD or something like that, and I remember just being like, where's the octopus scene? Where's the convenience store scene? This line is different. Like, and I just remember like not being able to handle it, and especially not being able to handle the fact that the version I know is not the real version. Like that.
That's a mind fuck.
I couldn't handle that.
It's tough, but I mean, I feel like there are the rare cases where the director's cut is as good or even better than the original. And I feel like the director's cut that comes to mind for me is, of course, All Too Well 10-minute version.
Oh, I mean.
Like when that came out, like it really, over the time that I've spent with it, and Taylor said this in interviews and I was like, girl, shut up. But I think she might be right. Like that has, when I think of the song All Too Well, it is the 10-minute version. It is all of those new lyrics. It is all those new lines. And I felt like she was being so delusional when she first said that it was going to replace the original. But I think it might have done it.
Damn.
Because that was such, I mean, obviously it went to number one, but like the way it was released, all of the fanfare around it, all of the secrecy around it, the Jake Gyllenhaal of it, all the video that goes along with it. Like,
and how good those new lyrics are.
That's the thing. The fact that they are as good, even if like structurally it's not what you remember, doesn't make as much sense. It has earned its place in pop music history, but that's rare. You know, maybe it's the exception that proves the rule of director's cuts.
A director's cut that I love is the Amadeus director's cut. Amadeus is one of my favorite movies of all time. And for years I had just known the theatrical release. And so there's a director's cut, which like, it doesn't like do things like change the order in it or anything, but there are like more scenes. It's just like a little extended.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh fuck, I need all of this. Like it's so good. It's so long.
All right, Matt Steele, I have a question for you.
Yes?
What has been giving you moments, darling?
I've been so busy. I haven't been able to consume shit, guys. I haven't been able to watch TV, see any movies, none of that stuff. But, you know, some moments have been giving me moments.
Okay.
You know how like 2 weeks ago, I was like, I got a new phone and I'm just so amazed at how it works.
Yeah.
I must tell you, this new laptop, I edited my first 2 Gay Mats video in a while, and baby, it was like fucking butter.
Yes!
I was like, it was like, oh, you want to render this? Done. And it's like, wait, you mean I'm not going to be sitting here for half an hour as it renders a 10-second clip?
Jesus.
What the hell? Like, because my old computer is almost 10 years old.
It's crazy you had that for so long.
Everything would just take a long time, and now I edited that video so swiftly and everything.
Good for
you.
And
it did take me a little while because, like, you know, when you get a new computer and like, it's like, wait, why is this saving here? How do I like reconfigure that? I had to figure that out.
Yeah.
But still, like, it was just so smooth and so sleek, and it just really gave me moments.
Yes.
Guys. So that as well as no, I don't think anyone knows this, but Pastor Dan will be moving out of my apartment at the end of the month.
I mean,
the Pastor Dan era is coming to a close.
It was just
he's in our hearts.
It was like the E=MC² era in that it ended much sooner than expected.
Much sooner than expected, and much sooner than it should have, because we love Pastor Dan. I mean, you guys never met him, but like he was wonderful. And so I was very nervous the past couple weeks.
Wait, are you about to give me something good?
Oh, I'm about to give you something good.
Oh!
So I was very nervous the past couple weeks that like, oh, I'm not going to be able to find a new roommate. I'm not going to be able to find a new roommate. And so I'm going to have to like pay the entirety of the rent of the apartment for several months and everything. And I'm going to die of starvation.
Yeah, don't do that.
But guess who I am living with?
Please say Travis.
I am living with my friend and coworker, Travis Clayton, who some of you may know of as Chucky Chesterfield from the movie Devos, the motion picture extravaganza known as Devos.
I remember when you brought this to me as a possibility, and I was so excited because we were on set together, darling, because we were waiting to shoot our scene.
They played at BFFs.
We played BFFs
Matt Palmer and
became
Travis.
BFFs on the set. Like, what a lovely young man. And I just feel like, as much as we love Pastor Dan, and we always will, always do, I feel like all is right in the world to have like someone who was in Devos in that home. You know, like I feel like everyone.
You act like Devos is like this biblical, like
it is
omniscient,
it's
like
the
powerful.
tome. It is the tome that apartment needs to represent, and I feel like having a Devos cast member in there only makes sense. You know what I mean?
So we can have nice, dry, bitchy conversations.
Exactly. That's what that house is for.
I love that. Yeah. So if you want to meet Travis, check out my movie Devos.
Yes.
You can see me and Travis have a scene together with Matt Palmer.
Yes.
And so
we should have him on the podcast.
We totally should.
He'd be great.
But yeah, so I would just the giving me moments obviously is that I thought I was going to have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars paying for a 2-bedroom apartment by myself. And I am not, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very happy. We will miss Pastor Dan, but we love saving money as well. So I'm happy we got a new roommate quickly. Another thing also, I'm way too late, so I'm not going to talk about it much. But this came out in 2020. This came out in 2020, but I finally watched it this weekend. I watched Boys State. Whew.
I watched Boys State.
Yeah, it was your giving me moments.
It is
like
wild.
Like a year and a half ago.
It is wild.
It's a documentary. For those of you who hadn't listened to Matt Palmer's review, it's a documentary about, I guess every state has Boy State and Girl State, where it's like boys like all go to the Capitol and they take part in this political process, and you have to like vote for a governor and like a lieutenant governor and like all that stuff. And there's like a campaign manager. There's like a party leader and everything.
Some of those things, like some of the things that some of these children were running on, the like platforms they were running on.
And the thing that blew me away was, spoiler alert, guys, if you want to check it out, don't listen ahead because I'll give some spoilers. One of the boys who was like running on this ultra conservative like mantra in his like interview, he was just like, oh yeah, I don't believe any of that. Like I'm actually like kind of liberal. Like he's like, I'm pro-choice and everything. Like, but I'm just lying because I know most of these boys will vote for whatever.
Which, by the way, real politicians do this.
Oh, you like, watch like the things that these boys do, and you see the fucking parallels, and it's just so and it's like how they're creating these like Instagram accounts like to drag the other party down and everything, and it's like I feel like the adults in the room should be like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. I watched it with someone who attended Boys State in their state. He's from Delaware, and he was just like, we didn't do any of this. Like we just like hung out in the dorms and goofed around, like, and there was this other element to it, but like we weren't this serious about it.
I know someone who was at Boys State as well, and they're staying.
I would if I ever went there, my skin would crawl. It's also very like tribal, and I'm not into like I never went to like a sleepaway summer camp or whatever.
Oh no, I loved that.
Oh, I like all that stuff just feels very tribal to me.
No, it's
like,
not sleepaway summer camp is not tribal.
The chants and the fire.
How many
songs.
chants did you think we were going to be doing? Like I don't remember a chant happening. It just is like a place where you have activities and hang out with kids your own age. Like. It's not tribal.
I guess whenever I like see it on TV, it always feels very tribal to me. But like Boys State is very tribal, and that stuff creeps me the fuck out.
It's creepy.
And just that boy Steven. Oh, what an angel.
Can't talk about.
What an angel. And Renee, who is like the party leader for they're split up into two different parties, the Federalists and the Nationalists. Neither parties are real, but like they have to like come up with a platform or whatever. And Renee was like the leader of the Nationalists. What a queen. Like what a legend. Every moment of him was like a gif because they would like constantly say something. They were like trying to impeach him at one point, and his reactions, he would just like put down his notepad and was like, she's got something to say.
Yes.
Oh, legends abound. Stephen, Renee, angels. And I wish the other boys the best.
Truly that.
I hope they see the light.
I'd be ruder about them if they were adults, but they're not. So anyways, for me, if you probably could have guessed, Mariah Carey has released her masterclass, and I have gotten a login one way or another.
Okay.
And I watched it in full. So again, my mom is in town. She got in town on Wednesday. I believe the masterclass released on Thursday. And I was like, okay, I of course need to be a good host and like, going to be here for my mom whenever she needs me. But also there's an hour and a half class with Mariah Carey that other people have seen and I have not. Like, that's not okay.
No, you need to see it with them.
I unfortunately or fortunately woke up really early one day at like 7. So everyone else was still asleep. I just like naturally woke up by accident. Was like, if I'm going to be up, and I sit down and I start that masterclass. And if you've heard anything about the masterclass, you know that Mariah basically is recreating an extended and new version of her song, The Roof.
That's incredible.
And decides to bring in the incredible, the iconic, the vocal Bible herself, Miss Brandy Norwood, to assist her on background vocals.
That's an incredible concept for a masterclass.
Truly.
It's like, because Mariah, it's like, yes, she's an amazing singer. Yes, she's an amazing songwriter, but she is also such a she is a recording artist to a T, and just
Yes.
the details of every single one of her songs. So like to have that be her lesson, it's just like, no, like being a recording artist is not just singing and songwriting. It's
No.
like you got to have the layers. Like there are so many intricate details that like you don't even notice until you listen for the 100th time.
Exactly.
Like, and so the fact that she's like recreating a song you know so well and showing you how the different things she's doing with it in the recording process.
When she was playing the stems of that song, like the bridge, that there were background vocals that I had not heard before.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
I see you at like 7:15 in the morning being like, like trying not to wake your mom.
And you can tell that Brandy is such a fan, and she knows that like, but also Brandy is so famous for her background vocals and like her vocal stacking, and her way of singing in those background elements is so unique to her. So whoever's idea was to have Brandy be the collaborator on this was a stroke of genius. Their voices sound so beautiful together. She brings in a real string quartet to do what synth strings did in the original, and they sound beautiful. And of course, Mariah is getting them to sing their parts only by singing in whistle tone at them. Be like, no, it's like and it's just so amazing and hilarious. But the thing about it is, I wonder if you were a person that was like, oh, I want to learn about like music competition, or like as a vocal producer, how do you do this? Is this the class for you? I don't know. I feel like it's more of, until like maybe the last chapter, it feels more like a musical documentary. You're more like watching these, Mariah lead the string section and work with her musical director to basically translate what she's singing at them into musical terms, and then working with Brandy on like how she wants the harmonies laid and how to double and things like that. And but it's just so amazing to watch her work in this situation. And I hate to bring negativity, but before this came out, because some people have a problem with Mariah's vocal in the Big Energy remix, and so when it came out that Mariah was redoing The Roof with Brandy, people were like, oh, I'm nervous. Oh, I'm so nervous about this. In her 2022 vocals, what'll they be like? And it's like, guys, The Roof is not fucking fantasy. Like, fantasy is literally her belting at the top of her fucking range. The Roof is about the layers and like the softness, which has never gone away. That area of her voice has not really changed so much from 97. Like, and the fact that people's initial reaction to, we have Brandy on a new version of The Roof that's extended with new Mariah vocals, was, I'm worried. It's like, shut the fuck up. Like, it just made me crazy. And I, again, am too old to be arguing on message boards, so I won't. I'll just express my opinion here. It's just, if you love 90s R&B music, if you love vocal layering, if you love string quartets, jump on YouTube right now and listen to that extended version of The Roof, because it is truly gorgeous. It is just so, it is overwhelmingly beautiful, and I love it so much. And the fact that they came together for this is so exciting. I hope it leads to collaborations that are original. I'm just excited. I also feel like she wrote in a letter to Masterclass when she released it, like, this is my first step in like showing who I really am in the studio. I feel like we're getting a full documentary of her making her next record. I don't know if it's going to be.
Can you survive?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be, more Butterfly recreations on its 25th anniversary, or if it's going to be original music. But either way, I think we're going to see, because the thing is, as much as anyone wants to talk about like her vocal state and how it has changed since she was 19 years old, this woman is a musical genius, and you see that genius in action in a way you never got to, because you just saw her on stage in like a big flowy gown and thought, oh, big diva. But it's like, no, she's an artiste. She's a songwriter. She's a vocal arranger. She's a producer. And I think we as fans always knew that, but to see it and to have the public see it, at least the Masterclass public see it, it just is exciting, because it's like, this is who we all knew she was.
So
Yes.
when you have your new vocals after your sinus whatever
When I'm
procedure,
Luther Vandross vocally, yes.
when you are recording your new album,
Yes.
like, are you going to take what you learned from Masterclass and be like, and learn how to fly, spread your wings and prepare to fly?
I mean,
and do know I play the violin, so like if you need a string quartet, you can sing some whistles at me and I can be like, go,
yes, or
go.
you'll just be like, no, I don't play in front of people. You'll come over, bring your violin. I'll be like, okay, I want to do like, and you'll be like, oh no, I don't play in front of people. That'll be a waste of all of our time.
I'm just here for the photo op.
Exactly. I mean, yes, I will definitely take what I've learned. I mean, as far as like the vocal doubling and the harmonies and all of that, I feel like I kind of gleaned what she was teaching people from her records already, but who knows what I'm going to learn in the additional documentary footage, which I believe is coming. Everyone stay tuned. I just also think it's exciting that after 2020, we had like the rarities, we had her memoir, and 2021 was a little quieter. All of Christmas is You stuff, McDonald's stuff we love. But I love that now we're doing things that are not Christmas related. It is, Big Big Energy remix with Lotto, and now we also have this masterclass. I just think people are going to see her in a brilliant new light, in a new way. So.
I think she knows now. It's just like release content.
Yes.
Just release content. And if one doesn't fly, the next one will.
Yeah, we'll do the next thing.
That's like the MO for being famous in 2022.
I know.
Just release.
Hello, if you wonder why I have so many singles coming out at random points through the year, that's fucking why. Because it's like, that's people just... It's like it's so weird, but now the way I think of Spotify is like, oh, this is just another social media platform.
Yeah,
like this, and it's like that's not bad. And like I'm going to put out a record that's more long form at some point, but in the interim, having more out more often does you more favors than like going and cocooning yourself for years on end.
And then finally, like releasing the one
thing. And like it's not like unless you're Jasmine Sullivan, that ain't gonna work. Oh, okay, so had a lot of feelings. But wait,
for a podcast with no news,
honestly,
we really talked about everything.
We had a lot to say.
Deep in your sinuses, deep in my income taxes, deep in all of our lives, guys.
It's true. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening and or watching. We'll be back next week with more 2K Mats, the podcast.
Bye. We love you.
We love you so much. Bye-bye.